Hey, it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're going to zoom in and focus in on a great viewer question, or really more of a comment that we got in. And that was a compliment here to the channel, and that we are helping her to have and get an awareness of, an acknowledgement, and an understanding of what it is to have a healthy relationship. And that's going to be the focus of the video here today. And it's very interesting because when I talk about healthy relationships, oftentimes I don't get a lot of positive feedback because everybody wants to do the sort of retaliation on the individual who has hurt them in their lives. And I'll have you know that YouTube is really now addressing situations which are controversial. In other words, if we're bringing up certain topics, they are not going to be promoting those videos. So I really want to, and I'm going to be turning a little bit of a corner or a leaf or a little bit different flavor to the video content and keep it really sort of, I don't want to say neutral, but non-controversial. And not that I feel that any of the material that we present is controversial. It is informative and educational, and really the goal is to help you to understand a toxic individual, someone who is emotionally manipulative, so you can understand, and once you can understand, you can love, forgive, and let go. So it is that education which is power. So that is the whole goal of the channel. It's not meant to be controversial or anything of that nature. So I do want to kind of turn a little bit of a corner, and we'll see how it goes here. And I really want to address this viewer's question and really sort of look at what is the feeling or format or experience of a healthy relationship. In other words, how did things go wrong, and how can I recreate a new template, a new feeling, a new vision for my relationships in the future, and how can this help me to become my best version of me? Really empowerment. That is the whole goal of the channel as well. And so as you can understand that when it comes to relationships, you need to have a sense of self. You need to have a sense of self-trust. You need to have a sense of self-valuation. In other words, knowing what you bring to the table, knowing that you have talents, knowing that you have a good heart, a good mind, knowing that you have traits and gifts to contribute, and that you also have a boundary on these. In other words, where you don't give away the farm, you don't sell the crop, for pennies on the pound. You have a sense of self-esteem, and self-esteem is very different from arrogance, which is fleeting. It's based on a pathological person might have a sense of self-valuation based on the number of cars that they have, or the number of houses, or things of that nature. So it's very much based in the fleeting. A true sense of self-esteem is based in within. So it is something that is also nurtured and developed by positive self-talk. In other words, positive self-awareness. Knowing that you are good. Knowing as in a sense of certainty and not uncertainty. That certainty is crucial to the equation. Certainty, knowing, because it gives you the reaction or mechanism to recognize when you are being mistreated and just saying no more. I'm not putting with this, and I know how to handle this, and handle this right away. I will. It's not letting wounds drag on for years. It's not letting sarcasm or pointed speech be tolerated. When someone harshly judges you or criticizes you, or tries to tip the scales and give you this sort of comment, you are able to determine right then and there that there's only going to be so much relationship connection that you can have with this individual because of how they are treating others. So it's just like, you see how they maybe treat animals is how they're going to treat others, So you're able to have these eye-opening experiences, the aha moments, where you're able to see, okay, maybe there is something awry here, and I'm not going to get too close to this person, or I'm not going to have a super fulfilling relationship, a real sort of connection with this person, because there are certain issues here that are going to forbid me or prohibit me from getting too close, because to do so would be for me to be a negative impact for me in my life, and it's going to cause emotional hurts. It's going to cause certain struggles. It's going to cause me to ruminate or think about things again and again, and I'm going to have a sense of emptiness or suffering or paranoia. These people, people who tolerate this sense of paranoia or anger or resentment, a lot of these things, tend to harbor these insecurities, and then it takes, bloom in their life, and your life can not become the best it can be. You don't become the best person that you can be if you're always feeling uncertain. Of course, there's spontaneity, uncertainty, and surprises. These are the positive. And so really it is the focus, it is the awareness of these, and sort of getting that metacognitive level where you're able to think about what is going on while it's going on. You're able to assess and determine and make adaptations and choices for self-support, self-trust, and self-belief versus self-doubt, self-negation, low self-esteem, and the feelings, I'm not worth it, this person is better than me, all the other sundry self-talk, which oftentimes is done subconsciously, but it needs to be brought to light. So it's really, in essence, a growing or maturing in that direction, which helps you to become better ready for a healthy relationship, and kind of seeing and knowing what a healthy relationship looks like, feels like, in your mind's eye, your heart's eye, your body's eye, so to speak, of what it is, and taking stock of this and knowing what this is, and being able to say, okay, you know what, I'm now going to grow out of these unhealthy patterns. This is not leading me anywhere. This is a dead-end relationship. This does not have my future wellness in mind. This does not have my future happiness in mind. This does not have my future joy in mind. I cannot be liberated here. I'm going to feel constantly under the, unhappy through this sort of experience. I don't like being treated this way. So these are the sort of questions and determinations and declarations that you need to experience so you can learn when to say no, learn when to say yes, and learn when to say, I'm going to just stop and work on myself until I am really, truly sound and secure coming through this, and I am able to bring my best self to the relationship. It is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today, and I hope that these videos, if they do help, please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.